What if one of the most powerful anti-aging foods of the future looked almost exactly like something you've seen your entire life? Imagine walking through a grocery store, passing apples, oranges, bananas, and then suddenly noticing something strange. A tomato, but not red, purple. At first glance, it almost looks unnatural, maybe even genetically modified in a way that sounds suspicious. But what if that unusual color wasn't a warning? What if it was actually the clue? The clue to a food packed with compounds that scientists have been studying for years because of their remarkable connection to heart health, brain function, healthy aging, and cellular protection. In fact, some researchers believe the secret isn't what makes this tomato different from other vegetables. It's what makes it surprisingly similar to foods already celebrated as longevity superstars. And by the end of this video, you may never look at tomatoes the same way again. Because this isn't just a story about a new vegetable, it's a story about how science, nutrition, and nature may have quietly created one of the most fascinating foods of our time. And what we're about to uncover might surprise you. For decades, nutrition experts have encouraged us to eat more colorful foods. Bright greens, deep oranges, rich reds, and dark blues. The reason is simple. Color often reveals something important about what's happening inside a plant. Many of the pigments responsible for those colors are natural compounds that help protect the plant itself. And sometimes those same compounds may help support human health alike as well. The purple tomato is fascinating because it combines something familiar with something extraordinary. It still tastes like a tomato. It still works in salads. It still fits into sandwiches, sauces, and healthy meals. But beneath its deep purple skin lies a nutritional profile that has attracted enormous attention from researchers, nutrition enthusiasts, and health-conscious consumers.
Today, we'll explore where it came from, why scientists developed it, the surprising compounds hiding inside, how it may support healthy aging, what makes it different from ordinary tomatoes, and whether it deserves a place in your diet. But before we get into the health benefits, you need to understand the incredible story behind its creation, because that's where this journey becomes truly fascinating.
Tomatoes have been part of human diets for centuries. Their story begins in South America, where wild ancestors of today's tomatoes grew naturally long before supermarkets existed. Over generations, humans cultivated tomatoes for flavor, size, texture, and productivity. The result? Thousands of varieties. Red tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, orange tomatoes, even striped tomatoes. But one question continued to intrigue scientists. Could tomatoes contain the same powerful pigments found in blueberries, blackberries, and purple grapes? Because those foods contain compounds called anthocyanins, and anthocyanins have attracted scientific interest for decades. They're the molecules responsible for deep blue, purple, and dark red colors in many fruits. Researchers became curious. What would happen if a tomato could naturally produce higher levels of these pigments? Could it become a nutritional powerhouse? That question eventually led to years of research and innovation. The result was something few people expected: a tomato unlike anything most consumers had ever seen. Dark, rich, deep purple, and packed with anthocyanins. But here's where things become even more interesting. The color itself may be telling us something important, because in nature, deep purple often signals the presence of compounds that plants use to protect themselves from environmental stress. And those same compounds may offer benefits for us too. Which brings us to the first major health advantage of the purple tomato, and it starts at the very foundation of healthy aging: your cells. Every second of every day, billions of chemical reactions take place inside your body. These reactions keep you alive, but they also create byproducts. One of those byproducts is something called oxidative stress. Think of it like microscopic wear and tear. Over time, this natural process can contribute to aging.
Scientists often compare antioxidants to tiny defenders. Their role is to help neutralize some of these unstable molecules before they cause excessive damage. Purple tomatoes contain anthocyanins, the same family of compounds that have made blueberries famous among health-conscious consumers. Now, let's be clear. No food can stop aging. No vegetable can turn back the clock. But diets rich in antioxidant-containing foods have consistently been associated with healthier aging patterns. That's one reason experts encourage eating a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables. The purple tomato simply adds another source of those colorful compounds. And the deeper the color,
the more curiosity it continues to generate among researchers. But healthy aging isn't just about looking younger. It's about staying active, independent, sharp, and energetic. Which leads directly to another area where purple tomatoes are generating attention: your heart.
heart disease remains one of the biggest health concerns in America. And while no single food can guarantee protection, daily dietary choices matter enormously. Researchers have long observed that diets rich in fruits and vegetables are associated with better cardiovascular health. Purple tomatoes offer a fascinating combination. They contain many of the nutrients people already associate with traditional tomatoes, but they also bring anthocyanins into the picture. These compounds have been studied for their potential role in supporting healthy blood vessels and overall cardiovascular wellness. Imagine your circulatory system as a vast network of highways. Every heartbeat sends traffic moving through thousands of miles of blood vessels. The smoother that traffic flows, the easier the journey becomes. That's why nutrition experts often emphasize foods rich in plant compounds. Not because they're magical, but because small daily choices accumulate over years and decades. And here's something most people don't realize. Heart health often begins long before symptoms appear, which means prevention may be one of the most powerful tools we have. A healthy plate today can influence tomorrow in ways we don't immediately notice. And if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear what researchers are discovering about purple pigments and brain health, because the next benefit may be one of the most exciting of all. Think about the last time you walked into a room and completely forgot why you went there. It happens to everyone. But as we age, maintaining brain health becomes increasingly important. Many people focus on exercising their bodies. Far fewer think about feeding their brains. Yet your brain consumes an incredible amount of energy every single day. Even though it represents only a small percentage of your body weight, it uses a significant portion of your daily energy supply. Researchers have spent years investigating how nutrition influences cognitive function. And one category of foods repeatedly attracts attention: deeply colored fruits and vegetables. Why? Because many contain plant compounds that may help support overall brain health. Purple tomatoes belong to that colorful family. Their anthocyanins are similar to compounds found in berries that have been widely studied for cognitive wellness. Again, this doesn't mean eating purple tomatoes will suddenly improve memory overnight. That's not how nutrition works. But healthy brains tend to thrive when supported by healthy habits: good sleep, physical activity, stress management, and nutrient-rich foods. The real power often comes from consistency. One healthy meal won't transform your future, but thousands of healthy meals over a lifetime might. And that's where foods like purple tomatoes become interesting.
not because they're a miracle, but because they may help make a healthy diet even stronger. Yet the brain isn't the only organ that loves nutrient-rich foods. The next system affected by your daily choices may surprise you. It's one you use every moment of every day: your metabolism. Millions of Americans are becoming increasingly aware of blood sugar health. And for good reason. Energy crashes, afternoon fatigue, constant cravings, unexpected hunger. All can be influenced by how our bodies process food. Purple tomatoes are naturally low in calories and can fit easily into balanced eating patterns. They also contain fiber and beneficial plant compounds that make them a smart addition to many meals. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to support blood sugar health is focusing on a single nutrient. In reality, balance matters more. A plate filled with vegetables, protein, healthy fats, and fiber often works better than chasing trendy nutrition hacks. That's why nutrition experts frequently recommend building meals around whole foods, and purple tomatoes fit naturally into that approach. Imagine replacing highly processed snacks with colorful vegetables. The impact may seem small, but repeated daily choices create long-term results. The most effective health habits are often the simplest. And speaking of simplicity, there's another reason many health-conscious Americans are becoming curious about purple tomatoes: weight management. Here's something most diet advertisements won't tell you. Sustainable weight management rarely comes from extreme restrictions. Instead, it often comes from finding foods that are satisfying, nutritious, and easy to enjoy consistently. Purple tomatoes check several of those boxes. They're naturally low in calories, contain fiber, add flavor and color to meals, and can help make healthy eating feel less like a chore. Because let's be honest, most people don't struggle with knowing what healthy foods are. They struggle with sticking to healthy habits, and that's where enjoyable foods matter. The more appealing healthy foods become, the easier healthy eating feels. Researchers frequently observe that diets rich in vegetables are associated with healthier body weight patterns. Part of the reason is simple. Vegetables can help increase meal volume without dramatically increasing calories. That means more satisfaction, more fullness, and fewer opportunities for mindless snacking. But there may be an even bigger advantage hiding inside purple tomatoes. One that starts in a place many people completely overlook: your gut. A few years ago, most people rarely talked about gut health. Today, it's one of the hottest topics in wellness, and for good reason. Scientists continue discovering just how connected the digestive system is to overall health. Your gut influences digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, even aspects of mood and well-being. Inside your digestive tract lives an enormous community of microorganisms, often called the gut microbiome. Trillions of tiny organisms working around the clock. And one of their favorite fuels? Fiber-rich plant foods. Purple tomatoes provide dietary fiber that can support digestive health as part of a balanced diet. Fiber helps keep things moving, supports feelings of fullness, and contributes to a healthy digestive environment. But perhaps the most fascinating discovery is this. Many scientists now believe the gut and brain communicate constantly. Some researchers even refer to the gut as a second brain, which means supporting digestive health may influence far more than digestion alone. And if that's true, then the next benefit becomes even more important. Because much of your body's defense system starts there too. Every day your body faces countless challenges. Environmental stress, pollution, lack of sleep, busy schedules, seasonal illnesses. Your immune system works continuously behind the scenes to help keep you healthy. And while no food can guarantee immunity, nutrition plays a critical role in supporting the body's natural defenses. Purple tomatoes contain vitamins, antioxidants, and beneficial plant compounds that contribute to overall wellness. Think of your immune system like an orchestra. Every instrument matters. Sleep matters. Exercise matters. Hydration matters. Stress management matters. And nutrition matters. When all those pieces work together, the result is harmony. What makes purple tomatoes exciting is that they add another colorful tool to the wellness toolbox.
And color matters more than many people realize. Because the deeper and richer the color of many fruits and vegetables, the more unique compounds they often contain. Which raises an interesting question. Could purple tomatoes actually help your skin look healthier too? The answer may surprise you. And it begins with something happening inside your body every second of every day. Inflammation.
Have you ever noticed how healthy people often seem to glow? Not because of expensive creams, not because of beauty trends, but because good health often shows itself on the outside. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and every day it faces challenges: sun exposure, environmental pollutants, stress, poor sleep, natural aging. Over time, these factors can affect how skin looks and feels. That's one reason nutrition experts often emphasize colorful fruits and vegetables. Many contain antioxidants and nutrients that help support the body's natural protective systems.
Purple tomatoes are especially interesting because they combine the traditional nutrients found in tomatoes with the deep purple pigments that have attracted scientific attention. Of course, no food can erase wrinkles. No vegetable can replace proper skincare. But healthy skin often reflects healthy habits, and those habits frequently begin on your plate. What you eat today becomes part of the cells your body builds tomorrow. That's a powerful thought. It is, in a way, a vote for your future self. And speaking of the future, there's another reason scientists are fascinated by purple pigments: their connection to healthy aging. Let's talk about aging.
Not the kind advertised by miracle products. The real kind. The kind every human experiences. Aging is not a disease. It's a natural process. The goal isn't to stop it. The goal is to age well, to stay mobile, independent, energetic, curious, connected to the people you love. Researchers studying longevity often discover something interesting. People who age exceptionally well tend to share similar lifestyle patterns. They move their bodies regularly, they maintain social connections, they sleep well, and they consume diets rich in plant foods, again and again, across different cultures, across different countries, across different decades.
Those patterns keep appearing. Purple tomatoes fit beautifully into that philosophy. Not alayhi salam, a magic solution, but alayhi salam, another nutrient-rich option in a long-term lifestyle approach. Because longevity isn't built in a single day. It's built through thousands of small decisions. And the most powerful health choices are often the ones that seem insignificant in the moment. A walk after dinner, an extra serving of vegetables, a better night's sleep, a healthier breakfast. Small actions, extraordinary results. But longevity means very little without energy. After all, what good is a long life if you don't feel like living it?
Many people wake up tired, need coffee to function, feel sluggish by afternoon, and wonder where their energy went. The truth is, energy isn't created by caffeine. Caffeine simply helps you borrow alertness. Real energy comes from supporting your body's systems consistently. Sleep, movement, hydration, nutrition, stress management, all working together. Purple tomatoes may contribute to that equation, because they're nutrient-dense while remaining relatively low in calories. They're the kind of food that gives your body something useful without demanding much in return. And that's an important distinction. Many modern foods provide lots of calories,
but relatively little nutrition. Purple tomatoes represent the opposite approach. More nutrients, more color, more variety, without excessive calories. Sometimes wellness isn't about adding more. It's about choosing better. And while energy helps us get through the day, another overlooked factor may determine how we feel tomorrow. Sleep. Here's a surprising question. What if one of the most powerful anti-aging tools isn't a supplement, but sleep? Researchers continue discovering how important quality sleep is for nearly every aspect of health. Memory, recovery, mood, immune function, metabolism, heart health. Almost everything improves when sleep improves.
And while purple tomatoes are not a sleep aid, they can be part of an overall healthy dietary pattern that supports wellness. One mistake many people make is looking for a single food that solves every problem. Health doesn't work that way. The body operates as an interconnected system. Healthy eating supports better energy. Better energy often supports more movement. More movement can support better sleep. Better sleep can support healthier choices. Everything is connected. Which brings us to one of the most fascinating lessons in nutrition: the power of consistency. And nowhere is that lesson more visible than in our next story.
Imagine a man named David, 54 years old. Busy career. Long workdays. Little time for himself. Like many Americans, he wasn't looking for a miracle. He simply wanted to feel better. More energy. Better habits. More control over his health. Instead of chasing extreme diets, he focused on simple improvements. Walking daily. Eating more vegetables. Reducing processed foods. Adding colorful produce whenever possible. Over time, those changes became habits. And those habits became a lifestyle. The lesson isn't that purple tomatoes transformed his life. The lesson is that small choices made consistently transformed his life.
Purple tomatoes simply became one piece of a much larger puzzle. And that's exactly how nutrition works. Not overnight, but over time. Not through perfection, but through consistency. And our next story reveals an even more emotional truth. Health isn't just about living longer. It's about being present for the moments that matter most. Linda had recently become a grandmother, and suddenly, health felt different. It wasn't about fitting into old clothes. It wasn't about looking younger. It was about something much deeper. She wanted more healthy years, more birthdays, more holidays, more memories. She wanted the strength to run after her grandchildren, the energy to travel,
the ability to stay independent. Like many people, she began focusing on healthier foods. More vegetables, more variety, more color. Not because she expected miracles, but because she understood something profound. The choices we make today help shape the opportunities we have tomorrow. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. Because the purple tomato isn't really a story about a tomato. It's a story about investing in your future. And in the final part of this documentary, we'll uncover the biggest myths surrounding purple tomatoes, the mistakes most people make when eating them, the best ways to prepare them, the ideal food combinations, and the surprising truth about whether this colorful vegetable truly deserves its growing reputation.
By now, you might be wondering, if purple tomatoes are attracting so much attention, why haven't more people heard about them? Part of the answer comes down to myths, and some of these myths have spread surprisingly fast. Let's separate fact from fiction. Myth number 1. Purple tomatoes are fake. Many people assume that unusual colors automatically mean something unnatural. But nature is full of colorful foods. Purple carrots, purple cabbage, purple sweet potatoes, blackberries, blueberries. Color alone tells us very little. What matters is understanding what creates that color.
And in the case of purple tomatoes, the color is linked to anthocyanins, the same family of pigments found in many deeply colored fruits and vegetables. Myth number 2. They taste completely different. Surprisingly, many people expect purple tomatoes to taste like berries. They don't. They're still tomatoes. You can use them in salads, sandwiches, wraps, and many recipes where traditional tomatoes are used. The biggest difference is what may be happening nutritionally beneath the skin. Myth number 3. One purple tomato can change your health. This might be the most important myth of all. No food works like magic. Health isn't built from one meal. It's built from patterns.
A healthy lifestyle always matters more than any single ingredient. Myth number 4. More is always better. Not necessarily. Nutrition isn't a competition. The goal isn't eating huge amounts of one food. The goal is variety. A colorful plate usually beats an extreme diet. Every time. Myth number 5. Healthy foods must be expensive. One of the biggest misconceptions in nutrition is that wellness requires complicated products. Often the most effective health habits are surprisingly simple. Move more, sleep better, eat more plants, drink more water, manage stress. Consistency beats complexity, every single time. And speaking of mistakes,
There's something many people accidentally do that may reduce the benefits of nutrient-rich foods. Let's talk about that next.
imagine buying fresh produce, bringing it home, and then unintentionally reducing some of its potential value. It happens more often than people realize. Here are some common mistakes. Mistake number 1. Not eating enough variety. Some people discover one healthy food and eat it constantly, but nutrition thrives on diversity. Purple tomatoes work best as part of a colorful diet, not as a replacement for everything else. Mistake number 2. Ignoring the rest of the meal. A healthy ingredient cannot rescue an unhealthy lifestyle. What surrounds the food matters too. Protein, fiber, healthy fats, hydration, sleep, movement. Everything works together.
Mistake number 3. Expecting immediate results. Modern culture loves instant gratification, but the body doesn't always work on today's schedule. Healthy habits often produce benefits gradually, weeks, months, years. The most powerful changes are often invisible at first. Mistake number 4. Overlooking preparation methods. The way foods are prepared can influence both flavor and enjoyment. And enjoyment matters, because the healthiest diet is the one you can actually maintain. Which brings us to a practical question. What's the best way to eat purple tomatoes? The answer may be simpler than you think.
The beauty of purple tomatoes is their versatility. You don't need special recipes. You don't need complicated instructions. You simply need consistency. Some of the easiest ways include fresh salads, whole grain sandwiches, vegetable bowls, healthy wraps, Mediterranean-style meals, homemade salsas, colorful side dishes. Many nutrition experts also recommend pairing vegetables with healthy fats. Why? Because certain nutrients become easier for the body to absorb when consumed alongside healthy fat sources. Examples include avocados, olive oil, nuts, seeds. These combinations create meals that are both satisfying and nutrient-rich.
And here's something many people overlook. The best time to eat healthy foods is the time you'll actually eat them. Morning, lunch, dinner. The perfect schedule matters less than the habit itself, because habits create results, not isolated moments. And now we're approaching the biggest lesson of this entire documentary, a lesson that has almost nothing to do with tomatoes and everything to do with life. When scientists study the world's healthiest populations, they rarely find a single secret food. Instead, they discover patterns. People move regularly, stay socially connected, eat a variety of plant foods, manage stress, sleep well,
and maintain healthy routines over decades. Notice the theme? Patterns, not perfection. The purple tomato is fascinating because it reminds us of something important. Nature still has surprises left. There are still new discoveries, new possibilities, new opportunities to improve the way we nourish ourselves. But perhaps the most exciting realization is this: the future of health may not depend on radical changes. It may depend on small improvements repeated consistently. A better breakfast, a healthier lunch, a short daily walk, a colorful plate. Tiny decisions, powerful outcomes. And when enough of those decisions accumulate, they create something extraordinary.
A healthier future.
At the beginning of this video, we asked a simple question. Could a strange-looking purple tomato represent something much bigger than itself? Now you know the answer. Because this story was never really about a tomato. It was about possibility. The possibility that better health can begin with simple choices. The possibility that small habits matter more than dramatic promises. The possibility that the future version of you is being shaped right now by what you repeatedly do every day. No food can guarantee a long life. No vegetable can promise perfect health. But every healthy choice is an investment. An investment in your energy, your independence, your memories,
Your family. And your future. Maybe that's why foods like the purple tomato capture our imagination. Not because they're magical, but because they remind us that wellness doesn't have to be complicated.
Your future health is not created in a single day. It's created one choice at a time, one meal at a time, one habit at a time, starting today.